News Radio WGAN presents the 2018 DA Forum on the WGAN Morning News with Ken and Matt. FM 105.5, AM 560, and 93.1 HD2. This is News Radio WGAN.
John, your camera is up there, my friend. And other John, your camera's right there, where Ken is. We can definitely do a Jonathan and John. The two Johns I'm referring to, one Jonathan, one John, is our two candidates for district attorney who are nice enough to join us here on our 2-hour-long district attorney forum discussion. Don't call it a debate.
I really think we should call them both Johns. And then,
well, we got to distinguish, right?
No, nobody will know the voices.
Well, to my right, ironically, is Democrat John Gale, and then to my left,
he's to my left.
To your left, right? And to my left is independent Jonathan Sarback, who is joining us right now, both of which are running for the open position. Once in a lifetime. Stephanie Anderson, yes.
70 years in the office.
Actually, it's been, what, 20?
Yeah, long time.
It's been a while. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. We're going to have an opportunity over the next couple hours to talk about everything you could possibly want to know about what the next district attorney is going to be doing.
Whether the new district attorney will bring their dog to the office as Stephanie Anderson does.
Indeed.
I think the dog stays with the office, from what I hear.
It's an office dog.
I think so. I
don't think Stephanie's going to like that.
Probably not, but
anyway. All right, so we did a coin toss, and Jonathan,
which you failed to catch, so then the table decided for us.
Okay, was that really necessary?
I just wanted to point it out.
So we're going to start out with you giving a brief opening statement of whatever you want to say.
Great, thanks. Well, thanks for having me. For people that don't know, my name is Jonathan Sarback. I'm running as an independent candidate for district attorney here in Cumberland County. I was born and raised in Cumberland County, and I've been a prosecutor almost 10 years. I got my start as a prosecutor down in Massachusetts, where I spent 5.5 years between Bristol County and Middlesex County in towns like Lowell, Fall River, Framingham, Concord, Ayr, and Waltham. And then in 2012, I moved home and worked as a prosecutor in York County for Maine Drug Enforcement. I was an assistant AG down in York County for a couple years, and then for about 2.5 years, I've been with the Middlesex DA's office handling the human trafficking cases. The reason I'm running for district attorney is that I feel that our community is, like many places across the country, is in the grips of this opiate epidemic, and it's the #1 public safety concern that we have as a county and as a community, and that will be my priority with getting out there to talk about prevention and talk about education to try to save lives. We are right now dealing with something that is unprecedented across this country, and the most underutilized form of help that we can use is prevention and education. As the DA, I would be out in the community, talking to community groups, talking to parents, talking to kids, making sure that they understand the dangers that face us when it comes to this opiate epidemic. So basically, I'm asking for your support because I know that I can provide leadership that we've been lacking in this state when it comes to the opiate epidemic, and I hope that I have your support on November 6th. I am running as an independent, just so everybody knows out there. The Republican candidate has withdrawn, so the votes that are cast for him will not count.
Is he still on the ballot?
He's still on the ballot.
Yeah, he's still on the ballot because he pulled out after they printed. So,
and ranked choice voting applies.
No, it does not.
No, it does not. Not to this one.
Well, that's right, because it's county.
Correct.
Yeah, so.
Correct.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Learn a thing every day, right?
Yeah. John Gale.
Thank you, Ken, and thank you for having us today. This race is really about two questions. One, which candidate will be most effective in making Cumberland County safe for all residents? And two, do you believe we need criminal justice reform? We can agree that the primary job of district attorney is to make our community safe for all residents, all the people who live here. We can also agree that the position of district attorney is not political. It's practical. It's about policy. So let's talk about policy first, about change. I'm certain that we need to engage in reform. The people most heavily involved in law enforcement and criminal justice, from police chiefs to probation officers, agree we have to focus on the root causes of criminal behavior, substance abuse and mental health in particular. And we need to clearly differentiate between the people who are defendants needing help and those who are dangerous to victims and to society. Most criminal behavior is driven by substance abuse, by mental health issues, chronic homelessness, And it's time to focus on treatment rather than merely punishment. And this is not my idea. Our sheriff, Kevin Joyce, will tell you that more than half the people in his jail ought to be in treatment, not behind bars. The second issue, which is really the most important, is effectiveness. And reform is about effectiveness. I absolutely agree with Mr. Sarbeck that we have a massive drug problem in this state. I also agree with him, as he said in the past, that 80% of our crime is driven by substance abuse and by mental health issues. That's a soft number that we just both agree from our experience, I think. And focusing on those root causes is more effective in reducing criminal behavior, and it's less expensive than merely throwing people in jail. And effectiveness is being deeply involved in your community and in our criminal justice system. I first resided in Cumberland County in 1985. I've spent the vast majority of my adult life in Maine. I went to law school here. I went to college here. And my first job in criminal law was as an intern in the Cumberland County DA's office in 1994. We've lived in Portland since 1999. I've been fully invested in this work as an advocate for people from all walks of life. I know